Hello.
Hi, Antonio.
Hi, good
Uh,
morning from Spain.
Good morning. I'm sorry that happened. I noticed right away there was a problem because my video was not on. It was just my picture. And so I was like, oh,
I
and then,
I have a problem with my picture because I have a picture in Google Plus, but
uh,
I it's impossible to me or for me
for me.
to show my photo here. But
Huh.
uh,
Actually,
however, if I write in the chat space, my photo
comes up.
yes
Yeah, it
comes
comes
up.
up. And also, when you came into the classroom and my video wasn't there and my picture was there, your photo was there. But I came back and your photo isn't there anymore. It's strange. Very, very
Yes,
strange.
in the screen, in the class screen, my photo doesn't show, but only in the chat or on the chat.
Uh-huh. In the
On the chat.
chat.
In the chat.
Either way it works. In the both of them will work for you. In the chat or on the chat. So,
Mhm.
um, yeah. So they will both work. But yeah. Anyway, so what time is it right now in Spain?
Now it's 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. Okay. All
Are
right.
you where are you in the USA?
I'm in Idaho, which is Idaho is it's half Pacific Northwest region and half mountain region. And I'm in the mountain region section, which is Mountain Standard Time, and so it's actually 1 a.m. here. So
One.
1 a.m. Yeah. So I'll be heading to bed after this class. So yeah, I enjoy. I don't go to sleep at night. So
Why do you use this timetable?
yeah, I
Because
it, I
you want to learn to Spanish to Europe people. Or,
I want to teach. Actually, it would be do you want to teach Europeans?
mhm.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I could say that. The main reason is because I'm a new teacher on Verbling, and those were the times that were available.
Uh-huh.
I just chose those times because that's when I could. And the other reason is because many times I'm awake anyway,
Mhm.
and so I decided, well, why not? And but it's gotten very hard, so I've decided that Starting next week, I will probably not be teaching after midnight. So,
Mhm.
so because if I have a class at 7 in the morning, and usually for me, after teaching, whether it's one person or 15 people, um, I'm I'm so energized that I can't go directly to bed. I'd lay there and go, oh, I can't sleep, and so I usually right now at this schedule I'm going to sleep about 3 or 4 in the morning. So,
Because you are very stressed with your classes before, no?
yeah, not stressed,
You
energized,
energized. Yes,
energized, yeah, energized, and
I like very much your class. Uh,
good, good, thank you. I realize though that I have not taught full time since 2010, and I've been out of practice with certain things that I had forgotten about, like for example, error correction. So I've been out of practice, but I've started going, oh yes, oh yes. And for the last 4 years, I've only been teaching 1 or 2 hours a week, and then
mhm,
I've been doing other things. And in July, I thought about it and decided I want to teach full time. So,
mhm,
so I was very excited when I found Verbling, um, and I heard about it last spring from Chad, who's from it lives in Honduras, but I I didn't know if I could get how much teaching I could get from them. So yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Networking. First of all, Antonio, remind me, what do you do?
Well, I am an industrial engineer,
Mm-hmm.
but nowadays the crisis here in Spain is very, very hard.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm looking for a job.
Oh, okay. Awesome. So,
Um, I would like to ask you
uh-huh.
about your private classes
Uh-huh.
because this weekend
Mm-hmm.
I have my first certificate of English, the exam.
Oh,
Uh,
wow. FCE. Uh-huh.
yeah, I am very nervous about it
Uh-huh.
because I think my English speaking and listening is not very good. It's
Mm-hmm.
not,
Yeah.
and I'm very concerned
Uh-huh.
about it.
And so very nervous. Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yeah. In my private classes, what I do is I tailor the lesson to the learner, and and I'm also like in a group session, as you have heard, I don't stop everyone for every little mistake that they make, because if you're in a big group, it might be embarrassing for everybody. But
Yeah.
in a group class, I have it. I mean, excuse me, a one-to-one class. I will usually zero in on your issue and and talk to you exactly on what and this problem, that and that problem, and that problem, and that problem, and that
Mhm,
problem. And so it's very tailored, and we concentrate on what you specifically need. Where if you have a group and you have one person that is at a lower level and other people that are at higher levels, you have to meet in the middle. And and sometimes if you stop and work with the lower level, you lose the higher level, and vice versa. But on a one-to-one, you can concentrate specifically on those issues that you have. So
mhm.
the FCE, that's a Cambridge exam, right?
Yes, it's
Yeah,
Cambridge.
yeah, yeah. I worked with students in Finland on several Cambridge exams,
Mhm.
but Yeah, so but that's specifically what we do. And the one thing about like right now, this is a live class, and so people can actually watch us, as you know. Where if you're in a private session, uh, it's private. So,
Okay. I watch your timetable, your schedule time, and perhaps I reserve a book 1 hour with you. I would
uh-huh.
like I would like
Excellent.
it.
Yeah, just go ahead and look at my timetable. And if it turns out that there's no times that are available, send me a message
Hmm.
and say, Holly, can you make this time available for me? And I will put it on the schedule so you can book it.
Hmm.
Okay. Um,
Okay.
so there are some times that, like I said, I'm not going to teach after midnight group classes anymore, but I will do one-to-ones. So, but
Okay.
I don't think I think I took everything off the schedule. So so do look at my schedule. Yeah, and
Okay.
let me give you the link for that. Bear with me. How are you doing, Ake? It's been forever since I've seen you.
Ah, yes. I bring the coffee.
Oh
I
yeah.
quickly do the laundry and
Uh-huh.
make a coffee.
So do you run errands and stuff like that between classes?
Pardon?
Do you run errands between classes?
Ah, yeah, I was busy between class. Yes.
I noticed you come about 5-10 minutes into every class. So yeah. So anyway, that's my profile. And tell if you can look at it and tell me, Antonio, if you see um, if none of the times work, let me know, and I will add times for you. So, all right, let's go ahead with networking. Ake, that's right. You work for a a device company, right? So, are you an engineer?
No, maybe someone else. Yeah.
Okay. So, where do
Mm.
you work?
Now I'm a hacker. I'm studying at graduate school now.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Getting your graduate degree. Okay.
Mm.
I was wondering because you mentioned about your job when you this company that had all the different devices.
Ah, yes. Because that's a business class. I explained my favorite gadgets
Uh-huh.
the
Yeah.
other day.
Okay.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And so I was wondering how you had time to be going to English classes so much and
Mhm.
work.
Mhm.
So now I get it. Now
Mhm.
I get it. Awesome. Okay. So networking. First of all, can you describe an occasion for both of you? Describe an occasion when you or a friend of yours made a useful contact in a business or social setting.
Maybe academically, like academic congress or after the
Mm,
party of the congress or something.
okay. And bear with me a moment. I need to write on this. How do I get back to that? Oh, okay. Oh, I wanted to write on that. Do you know anything about these tools? Okay.
Mm.
Okay. Um, so maybe at when you say academic congress,
Mm.
do you mean like a
Con-
conference?
Conferences.
Yeah. Okay. So you've been able to network at conferences. What field are you studying? Okay. Can I ask?
Uh, my field of study is about comparative societies and cultures.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
So it's sociology?
Actually, a lot of sociology students too, but my studying field is about literature and a little bit about debate.
Oh, okay. That's fascinating. That's fascinating. Okay.
But I want to study sociology actually, but
Yeah.
anyway, yeah,
Yeah.
sociology seems interesting, but it's difficult to study because yeah, kind of they have to collect a lot of data.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I studied a little bit of sociology in undergrad,
Mhm.
and I found it very fascinating. But it seems like sociology PhD majors have a hard time getting a job, so I didn't
Mm.
major there. So anyway, for some reason I'm having trouble writing on this document, so I will use the chat for that. So you can say an academic congress, but also an academic conference is another possibility.
Conference. Mhm.
Okay, Antonio, can you think of a time that you made a useful contact in a business or social setting?
Well, the last been social event I met was recently 2 weeks ago. I was invited to a networking meeting.
Uh-huh.
Uh, I knew I met a lot of about 30 different working people.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to show because I want to begin a new task with uh, a friend of mine about efficiency, energy,
Mm-hmm.
something related, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I knew in that meeting network meeting I knew some people interested in that in such questions.
Mm-hmm. So you were able to make contacts for that. Okay. Um, for me, it's weird. The places I actually have made contacts have been in airplanes and also on social networking sites. Those have been the two places that I have found the best way for me to make contacts. Not sure why. So, but you actually went to a networking meeting, and okay, you actually go to conferences, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's go on to what we're going to do is we're going to look at some key phrases and then try to practice these. Um, and this we've got these 5 verbs: apply, come, develop, make, strike, and take. Um, so what we're going to do is try to add these to this, and then I'd like to have you guys discuss this if we can think of something to say about this topic. Okay. The first one, number 1, I will read it through, and then if you guys can tell me what you think this would be. Someone redundant. To cause someone to lose their job because you don't need them anymore. Does anybody know what that would be?
Um, this must be something related with fire up, no? With
Mm-hmm.
fire to fire
It is,
someone.
well, it isn't fire, but which verb
A
would this?
strike, perhaps?
No,
No,
no.
Make.
It is make. Yeah, to
make.
make redundant. Okay, let's go through that real quick. Okay, so we've got the verb to make redundant, which is British English, by the way.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and then we have to lay off, which is American English, and then we have to fire. Okay, which is both, and
Mhm.
to let go. Um, uh, and those are the main ones. Okay, so what are the differences between these?
Huh. The fire and let go means, you completely, how can I say, fired from the company. But the layoff and make redundant means probably temporary unemployment. Maybe company
Okay.
doesn't won't fire. That
Um,
well.
in some respects that could be, because if you make someone redundant or if you lay someone off, sometimes it's a temporary layoff or a temporary let's see, a temporary layoff or a temporary redundancy. That is sometimes. However, actually the difference between these is the purpose and the reason behind it, okay? So if you lay someone off or you temporarily do that, you lay off because it's basically, let's say it this way, it's the company's fault because there is no work. Okay, so if it can be temporary, because if there is work in the future, the company will hire you back. Okay, in the job I had a year ago, or 8 weeks ago, they laid off 70% of their workforce. And they kept me, and I stayed for 3 more months, and then I left. But they have now hired back anybody who wanted to come back. So they did it. It was layoff and then hiring them back. So I would say 50% of the team that I supervised they were all 100% of my team that I supervised were laid off. 50% are back working. So because now there is work, it's for them, for that company, it's a seasonal job. Okay, so that's a reason for a layoff and to make redundant. Do you understand, Antonio? Company's fault because there is no work. Okay, now
Yes.
to fire and to let go, the purpose for that is it's the employee's fault, because he or she did not do their job, his or her job well. Okay, so if you are fired or let go, it's because you've done something wrong. And if you're fired or let go, maybe 98% of the time, the company will not hire you back. Okay, but if you're made redundant and laid off, then it's their fault. Like I was laid off 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, from a company where I wrote tests as a linguist.
What is linguist?
A linguist is a person who studies language. Linguist. I was what I did is I wrote test questions for language tests. So but I was laid off from a job like that, and all of us that were laid off would have been hired back if they ever had work. So one of the problems is some people will say, I got fired, or the company is going to fire me, when in reality they've just been laid off. So that's the problem, but the meaning is completely different, because if you get fired, you're not coming back.
If you, but what happens if you you are without a job because for example the government doesn't invest more money in research, for example, and your work was about researching.
That was my item writing job, that my test writing job. Our main client was the U.S. government, and
Nice.
so they didn't give us a contract, so I was laid off. So
Layoff.
that's if there's no work from the government or from the company, and they either pay you to do nothing or they pay you to leave.
Mm. So,
Okay.
some worker have decided to leave the work because without getting any money, and even and they don't use employment insurance for
hmm
the layoff.
Okay, for example, if you are that depends on the country. Okay, each
Uh-huh.
country, as far as social money is different.
Mm,
I can only tell you about myself in Finland. So I mean my
mm,
country in Finland, but in the U.S. the only time that you qualify for unemployment benefits
mm,
is if you are laid off or made redundant. If you
mm.
are fired or if you quit, you
Mm.
cannot get money.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Where
So
I Yes.
being laid off situation is better than quit or
Yes. Being
okay.
laid off is better than quitting, or better than is much better than firing. So,
Mm,
say for example, I think most people qualify for 26 weeks of unemployment in the States, and so they get paid every week.
mm,
And it's not much money, but it's better than nothing.
mm.
So yeah. All right, well, let's go to the next one. Number 2. Some Okay, could you read that?
Get a blank time off to stop working temporarily in order to rest, recovery from an illness, and more time with your family, etc.
Okay. So working, can you say this word temporarily?
Temporarily.
Okay. Now this is because of your native tongue, this is really
Mm.
hard for you. Temporarily.
Temporarily. Relay. Relay.
Temporarily.
Temporarily. Relay.
Temporarily. That's hard. It's very hard. It's
Air and
yeah.
R connection is very hard.
Yeah, the two together is it's like, can you say rarely?
Really?
Oh, you're better than a lot of people. So,
Thank you.
okay, so which one is this? Antonio, can you think what this would be since he read it?
I think it would be make time off.
It's actually a different one. Okay, can you think of one?
Take time off.
Yeah, to take time off. So,
Take time off.
yeah, to take time off. And this is, stop working temporarily. We
Uh-huh.
actually call that, to take time off, we call that a, sometimes in some countries, in Finland, they call it sick leave. Um, in the U.S., we might call it a leave of absence. So, hi, Araceli, how are you?
Hi, I'm back.
Did you have some breakfast?
Yeah, I took children to school.
Oh, okay.
Now I'm back. It's like I have half of the morning free, so it's
Okay, awesome,
good
awesome.
morning.
Welcome. Well, we haven't got very far. We did a little bit of this, and we've been spending a lot of time on just number 1. So to take time off, to stop working temporarily in order to rest, recover from an illness, and spend more time with your family, etc. Okay. Um, Antonio, can you read this? We'll say this is blank. Can you read the rest?
And blank to somebody's attention. To be noticed by someone.
Okay, so which verb would that be? Anybody?
Come?
I think it's come. Yep. I
Come.
know it's come. Come to somebody's attention. So if somebody notices the work that you do, you've come to their attention. Very good. And Araceli, can you read the number 4? Just call the blank the blank.
Blank connections to find and get to know people who can help you. For example, in your career or business.
Very good.
To make connections.
Very good. To make connections. Okay. Right. And how do you guys make connections in your jobs?
Often personally. People you've worked with before.
Okay. So you say that again.
You usually make connections personally. So
Okay, personal connections. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I mean also for a job, but it's usual that you met that person in some previous job, maybe something like that.
Any more to get a job, you have to know somebody. So, yeah. All right. Next one. Okay, can you read this one?
Okay. Bring up conversation. To start a conversation with someone.
So which one would that be? For anybody?
Take up?
No.
Strike up?
Yeah, it's strike up.
Okay.
Just like earlier when I told you guys that most of my networking has been on either airplanes or social networking sites. That is because I always strike up a conversation with the person sitting next to me. And usually the most successful ones have been at the end of the flight. We say nothing the first half of the flight and then we start talking.
Yeah, it's boring. So some people want to talk.
Yeah. After a while, so.
Yeah.
I think it's good that you're able to do that because sometimes when you're with a stranger, yes, you feel just the same. But I like people who are outgoing and can speak to any stranger.
Yeah.
I think it's a good quality.
My sister finds it amazing, because she lived in a small town in Kansas for 10 years, and her friends always saw this one guy, and they always wondered who was he. And I was there for a weekend, or for like 3 or 4 days, and I was in the laundromat washing clothes, and he was there. My sister left to go get something, and she came back, and I was talking to him, and I learned everything about him. And she was like, no way. And the reason is because since I was a small child, I've been very talkative, and I can strike up a conversation with anyone. So it's a good skill to learn if you don't already have that skill. It is a skill though. So number 6, Araceli, can you read that one?
Blank a good impression to cause somebody to notice you in a positive way.
Yes.
I think it's to cause. No, it's not there. to make a good impression.
Yeah, make a good impression. Exactly. Okay.
Can you also say cause a good impression?
No. You can say he's made a good impression or he's made a bad impression, but you can't use. I think make is the only verb you use. So.
Bad translation from Spanish.
Yeah, it happens.
Yes.
So, okay, number 7. Antonio, can you read that one?
Blank for a job. to officially request employment, for example, by sending your CV to an employer.
Yes.
Apply for a job.
Yes. Apply for a job. Okay.
This
The
is
next.
very recently for me.
Yeah, it's very important.
I applying every day for a job.
Are you?
Yes.
In Spain, what is the average length of time that a person is unemployed? Is there any average?
Sorry, could you repeat it?
Yeah, for example, in the United States, they are saying that the average person who gets laid off is
Yes.
unemployed about 4 to 6 months.
Mm.
What is the average amount of time in Spain, or do you know?
I don't know, but there is a lot of people. I think that there are about 1 million or 2 million people with unemployed people for 1 year or 2 years.
Wow, wow.
Yes.
We call that long-term unemployment. So.
Yes. In my case, I am unemployed for 1 year now.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, so you will get a job. I just know it. So you just keep working, keep networking. So, all right. So, in Spain, Antonio, when you are unemployed, do you get money from the government?
Yes, but only for a time. Or
Okay.
during a period. It depends on the time you previously have paid for the
insurance.
when you was working.
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Every month you paid some quantity of some amount of money to the government, and if you afterwards are unemployed, so you will receive an amount of money. It's limited, no? There is a top or maximum, but only for the maximum period of time is two years.
Okay. Okay. So I know you'll get a job. I just positive thoughts your way from Idaho. Okay. So okay, number 8. Does anybody know this one? Okay, can you read this one?
Rank rapport to build a feeling of trust and understanding with someone.
Okay. Well, first of all, let's talk about this word before we choose the last one that's up there. It's actually pronounced like this.
Rapport.
Rapport.
It's French, I think.
Yeah, it is it's new for a lot of people. But to be able to build rapport with somebody is, you just have.
I saw develop because there's no build in the section. I mean.
Oh, is it develop? Oops. Yeah, another one is build.
Yeah. Sorry,
develop. Native speaker mistake. And this could be a difference between British and American English. I don't know, but we do use the word develop rapport, but build rapport is the one we use most. Do you guys understand what it means?
Yes, it's originally it's a psychological term to it's necessary to the psychological treatment counselor to build a rapport at the beginning with their client, kind of this kind of trustworthy feeling or understanding feeling.
Yeah, and it's basically pretty much in every profession, more or less. You need to really build rapport with your colleagues and with your boss and everyone that you work with. This feeling of trust and understanding. You won't build rapport with everybody, but enough people that you can be successful. So Araceli, Antonio, do you understand that word? To build rapport?
Yes.
Yeah.
More or less.
More or less. Yeah. Also, let me know if I'm speaking too fast. So sometimes I get onto a topic and I get very excited. So now complete the following sentences with suitable phrases above, changing the form of the verbs as appropriate. Okay. So number 1, the company went bankrupt. So he was what? Anybody? Any idea?
I think it's laid off, but
Okay, that's American English. Yes.
yeah.
Made,
American English.
made redundant.
Yeah,
No?
made redundant is British English. So made redundant.
Sorry, what's the meaning of laid off?
Antonio, can you explain that to Araceli in English?
Layoff is the same of made redundant. Holly has explained us that there is a difference between fire and make redundant. Fire is when you are a bad employee, so the firm goes away or break the contract with you. Make redundant is something, for example, in this case, no, you are a good employer, but the company has difficulties and they can't continue or keep on with your job.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Did you understand, Araceli?
Yes, perfectly. Thank you.
Excellent. Yeah, I thought since I spent time on that, I thought you guys would be better off explaining. Okay, number 2, she had to, anybody, what would that be? Something because of her new baby. Take time off, yes. Time off. I wonder if this is going to be in order. The news of his resignation, something this morning. It will.
Yes, came to my attention.
Yes, came to my attention this morning. Okay. Next one. Number 4, the office. Oh, I'm going to have somebody else read this. Araceli, could you read this?
And the office canteen is a good place to make connections with colleagues who don't know very well, who you don't know very well.
Yes. Would you guys agree?
Yes. Do you use this word, canteen, usually, or bar or coffee shop? What?
In the last company I worked for, we used the word cantina. Cantina, and also what I've used, the common one in the States is cafeteria. Those are the two that I've heard. Canteen, I have heard it, but I've like yesterday, somebody was using it, and I was confused because she was talking about going to the canteen for breakfast. And I didn't understand why she wouldn't go to her kitchen for breakfast. So I was kind of confused, but it was too many students in the class for me to question it. So
usually in American cafeteria in the school or kind of workplace prepare the foods as well as coffee, right?
Yeah, probably not coffee, but in the workplace, it depends on the company. For example, the company I worked for had a cantina, which means it was kind of like a canteen where you you bought cold foods, and you paid for it. You paid for it. It was like cold sandwiches and things like that, and we had microwaves. But
But you don't have an employee there. It's just for self-service.
it was self-service. Yeah, that's a cantina.
Yeah.
Where the cafe, we worked. My company that I worked for was on the HP campus, Hewlett Packard campus, and Hewlett Packard, it being such a big company, had a proper cafeteria where it was full service, just like a restaurant.
Right.
So, so the bigger companies will actually have restaurants and so forth. So, how about in your countries? Yes, Antonio.
Canteens. Well, in my last job, there was a canteen also where we can have a breakfast, a coffee, or even have lunch. But the lunch was very limited. There wasn't. You can't have lunch whatever you want. Only one menu each day.
You can only have one menu each day. You couldn't have everything, or
Sorry?
I'm not sure what you. Oh, there was many choices.
For lunch, for having lunch, only one choice.
One choice. Got it. Okay, I understand now. Yeah. Okay. In Finland, the companies usually had very, very good lunch restaurants, or the building would be close to the lunch the lunch restaurant. There would be lunch restaurants that were very cheap, and then the students all got free food from the schools. And so it was a tradition that if they had the mother and the father worked and the kids went to school, so they would make a breakfast and then they would eat a big lunch and then they would snack at dinner. Because the restaurants were so nice and the food was very good in the companies. So, okay, we're getting close to being out of time, so let's go on. Number 5, Araceli, could you read that? And hello, student Ilias. I think I said your name wrong. Elias. Okay, anyway.
Sorry, Holly. Could I ask you a question?
Yes.
About 4. Wouldn't it be possible also in number 4 to strike up?
Well, you could do that, yeah. The office is a good place to strike up a conversation with colleagues who you don't know very well. Very good. So that would also work. Yes.
Thank
Absolutely. You. And also it's a good place to build rapport or develop rapport with colleagues who you don't know very well. So 8 would work as well. 6 would work as well too. Make a good impression. So make a good impression with colleagues. Yeah. Anyway.
There are many.
Yeah.
Many possibilities.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, number 5. Who did I ask to read? Antonio? Can you read that one?
Okay. A good salesman tries to blank with his potential customers so that they trust him and feel comfortable.
Okay. Anybody, what would that be? And that's actually not in order.
To build rapport.
Build rapport, remember? Or develop rapport. Yeah, exactly.
rapport, not rapport. Oh.
Yeah, rapport. Rapport. Okay, and number 6. Okay, could you read that one?
I blank for 10 blank so far this month, but no one has invited me for an interview.
Okay. What would that be? Anybody?
I applied for 10 jobs.
Yep. And by the way, Arathali, you are correct. Your grammar is very good, by the way.
I don't know. I mean, all we learn at school of English is grammar.
I know.
Name pronunciation, speaking, yes, grammar.
Yeah. But yeah, you do very well with grammar. Okay, number 7. Arathali, can you read that one?
He knows a lot of useful people. He's very good at making connections.
Yes. Very good. Okay. Number 8. I'll read this. Roger blank at his interview this morning. I think he has a good chance of getting this job. Okay, so we're going to say this. Antonio blank at his interview tomorrow. I think he has a good chance of getting the job. I don't know when you're going to have an interview, Antonio, but we're going to say that.
Make a good impression.
So this one would be made a good impression.
Made a good impression.
Yeah. So, but that's what you're going to do at your next interview, right?
I hope so.
Yeah. Made a good impression. Okay. I think he has a good chance of getting the job. Oh, wow, we're going right along. Okay. And we have an article we have no time to read. So what we're going to do is skip over. Oh, by the way, you can, have you guys picked up this PDF so you can study it on your own? From the course. Let me give you the link. You can get this. She's a math teacher, Antonio. So you can get this link from this link. You can get the PDF, and there are answers at the back. So, okay, let's just go to this talking point, but because that's all we have time for. Number 1, Aratheli, how useful is networking in your career?
It is useful, but not is crucial. I mean, sometimes I get positions by objective criteria, like how many, my degrees, my experience, years of experience, like that. But sometimes it's useful if you know someone, because there is a special position that you can't apply for directly. I mean, officially. But if you know someone, it's like he or she is going to call you and give you the information, and you can apply for that special position. So sometimes it's useful, not always.
Okay. And you said something objectives. Did you say mean career objectives?
No. Well.
Or your I think you clarified it and said experience. I'm just trying to figure out what you were saying before that.
Yes, it's how many years you work, your experience. Yeah,
experience is best. Yeah. Okay. And okay, how about in your career? Okay.
Me? Okay.
Oh, he fell asleep.
No,
Did
I
we
didn't.
catch you falling asleep?
I heard the question, but I didn't
Oh,
heard
so it's
get it.
okay.
Yeah, kind of experience, or not only the networking. Networking is sometimes useful, but that's not all. Or achievement or experience also is very important.
Yeah.
Yeah, to get job.
Antonio, how about in your career?
Well, I think, well, in my case, nowadays it's very important networking because I have more possibilities to know someone who gives me a position or of a job. But also when I was working, I think it was very important to to meet people in my job for this reason because in the same meaning of Araceli because you can apply for some vacant in their companies. So you can improve your career
If
sometimes.
if you're already employed, it's much easier.
And
Yeah.
even if you are unemployed, you can also, if you have a lot of contacts, you can easily get a job.
Yeah, it really depends on how it depends. There's so many variables, I think. So yeah, I agree with you. Let's see. I'm starting to fade. So we've got 3 more minutes left of class. I'm sorry. I'm going to go ahead and get off of this. So we're going to anyway, sorry. Araceli, you mentioning that I should be tired than Ake made me get tired. So
1 a.m. for you?
2 a.m.
2 a.m.? Oh my God.
So, but like I was telling Antonio before class, teaching always energizes me. I'm always energized, and I can't even spell it.
Yes, because you are very active, no? I suppose.
I don't know. My mind is still going. When I for the last year before I started teaching, just recently, I was working at a company. I was a supervisor for a while, and then I was a trainer for a while, and I'd always go to sleep really easy because I wasn't energized. But now I'm energized. I get so excited. So, and that's why I start speaking fast. So always tell me to slow down. So, anyway, are you an engineer, Antonio?
Yes, I am an industrial engineer. I specialize in renewable energy and efficiency energy.
Okay. So what you do is you specialize in renewable energy.
Well, my last job was in a researching facility here where I live. I live in Almeria, in the southeast of Spain. It's in a desertic place like Texas, more or less, no, in US. Here there is a researching facility about solar devices, solar facilities, solar components. And I was working about storing energy in melting salts.
Wow.
And also with parabolic through collectors. Do you know what?
No, I don't understand.
The first facility with solar energy in California was with
you guys?
Parabolic through collectors.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are They are mirrors with a parabolic shape that they collect the sunrise in the focus in
Okay.
the tube. Inside the tube there is an oil that is heating.
I think I understand. So, but hopefully you can explain it to me a little bit later. So, does your question for you? Does your mom understand? I used to always ask my engineer students, "Does your mom understand what you do?" And they'd say, "No."
My mom, well, I don't know. I suppose no.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we can work on some pronunciation of it because it's actually renewable energy. So renewable.
Renewable energy.
Yeah,
Yes.
renewable. So awesome. Okay, thank you very much for your time, and I hope you guys learned something new and got a chance to practice your English. And I'm heading to bed, so I'll see you later. So
Have a good sleep.
night.
I will. Actually, I say I'm heading to bed, but usually it takes me 2 hours to actually settle down to even lay down to go to sleep. So I'll be asleep about 4 o'clock this morning. So okay.
Okay.
Have a good evening, y'all. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.